Hi guys. So I'm going to be making a video on percent of increase and percent of decrease. Okay. So I already wrote down the two formulas that you guys are going to be using. So I would say to just pause the video and then copy these two formulas down in your math journal and have them as a reference. Okay. I'm going to go over two different examples. So the first example says 10 pounds to 25 pounds. Okay, so in this example, you start at 10 pounds, and you go to 25 pounds. So looking at the two formulas that I have here, it's either going to be this one or this one. One's an increase and one's a decrease. If you're going from 10 to 25, the number is increasing, right? So that means that I'm going to be using the first formula, okay? So this one right here, it's going to have the new amount. That's what I'm going to start with. Okay. So the new amount is what I ended up with. So that's the 25. That's the new amount. Okay. And then I'm subtracting. So the formula says to subtract minus the original amount. So the original is what you started with. So you started with 10 pounds. So 10 over. So it's going to be a fraction. And it's always going to be over the original. Okay. So the original was, again, the one that you started with. So the 10 is going to go at the bottom. And then I have to solve this out. So 25 minus 10, it's going to give me 15 over 10. If you divide this out, you can use a calculator. So in your calculator, you're going to plug in 15 divided by 10. And if you do that, the answer is going to be 1.5. But the question for all of these is saying to find the percent of change. That's the question, okay? I don't know what the percent of change is. Okay. But I do know the decimal form already. I know that my answer is 1.5. So to write that as a percent, you have to move the decimal over 2 spaces to the right. So my answer for this one is 150%. That's my percent of change. In other words, from 10 pounds to 25 pounds, the increase was 150% increase. That's my answer. That was the percent of change. Okay. Now, looking at another example. So let's say it said 30 gallons to, let's say 16 gallons. We're probably going to get a weird looking decimal for this one, which is fine. So 30 gallons to 16 gallons, you're going to have to see if it's going to be an increase or a decrease. So if you're going from 30 to 16, the number is going down, which means that it's going to be a percent of decrease. So your number is going down to 16, okay? Which means that we're going to be using that formula, the decrease one, okay? So you start off with the original, which in this case is 30. That's what you started off with. So 30, we are subtracting, so minus the new amount. So the new amount is what you're left with over here, so 16. And it's going to be over the original. So the original, again, what you started with. So that's 30 again. Okay. So 30 minus the 16. Okay. So that would give us the 14 over 30. Okay. And let me do that on my calculator here. Let me see what I get. So 14 divided by 30. Yeah, so you are going to get a weird looking decimal. So let me write out what I have here. So the answer was 0.46, and the 6 is actually repeating. Okay, so it goes on forever. So again, the question is, what is the percent of change? Okay, it has to be in percent form. So I can't leave my answer like this. I have to change it to a percent. So wherever the decimal is, you're going to move it over 2 spaces. 46 point, and I'm actually going to round. So because the 6 keeps on going, you can round up. So that 6 is going to become a 7. So 46.7 Okay. So in other words, from 30 gallons to 16 gallons, there was a 46.7% increase, or sorry, decrease. Okay. So for both of these, that's basically all you have to do. Follow these two formulas. You have to first check if it's an increase or a decrease, and that's going to tell you which of the two formulas you have to use. Okay. Plug in your numbers into those formulas and make sure that your answer is in percent form. It has to be in percent form. You cannot leave it as a decimal. Okay. This should be enough to help you guys through the homework assignment on page 244.